Chinese-related cargo, one carrying methanol. They're both oil and chemical tankers. The Kokuka Courageous, owned by a Japanese company, the captain of that ship says that they were hit by a shell or a torpedo. The second ship, the Front Altair, reported 3 detonations on board. Now, both of these ships are in a huge amount of distress. All of the sailors have been taken off. They've been forced to abandon their ships. 23 on one, 21 on the other, so 44 sailors in total. Iranian state media is saying that the sailors, all of them, have been taken to an Iranian port. Now, interestingly, this has happened at the same time as the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was visiting the Iranian capital, Tehran, for talks with the Ayatollah to act, not, he says, as a mediator or a peacemaker, but to try and de-escalate the tensions between between Iran and the United States, because they have been bubbling away and increasing for some months now after Donald Trump slapped increased sanctions on Iran and backed away from that Iran deal that Barack Obama struck. So there's a lot of geopolitical action taking place here and concern from the United States that it may have been Iran that has attacked these 2 ships.
And Hugh, the flow-on effects around the world are going to be significant because there's been a swift reaction to the oil price.
Yeah, so about 30% of the world's oil travels through this Strait of Hormuz that Iran claims to have control of. 80% of that oil that travels through the strait ends up in Asia, so ends up in Australia. Because of this news in the last couple of hours, oil prices have jumped 4%. That's relatively significant and could have a flow-on effect to the pump, so having a big impact on domestic prices in places like Australia. Interestingly too, the Iranian foreign minister has said, quote, suspicious doesn't begin to describe what likely transpired this morning. I think we're going to get 2 different stories from both sides, an Iranian version of events and a US-Saudi Western version of events. That Japan, remember, is a close ally of the United States. Donald Trump is making 2 visits there this year, but they are trying to walk a fine line between talking still with Iran and being best buddies with the United States. So there's going to be a lot more to come out of this.
Let alone the possible ecological disaster of 2 tankers quite stricken and possibly going down there as well, Hugh. All right, thank you for that comprehensive update. It's from London tonight. Another developing story tonight in the UK.